Hello, hello, hello. I cut that short, didn't I? Sorry about that. Give me just a second, you guys. Hmm. All right. Well, that is today, right? Well, I tell you what. Nope, not that. I'll put that there. And what? Oh, well, yeah, you know what? The end is my favorite part anyway. I tell you, sometimes it's a foot race to the very end. Um, well, welcome to Royal Sussex. Welcome, one and all. Um, what can I say? If the Empire strikes back, or in this case, the firm strikes back. What can I say? They have a PR team. Well, PR team, PR team, British press. It's hard to know the difference, but the tabloid press is out there spinning and spinning and spinning. Um, to make sure that they try to discredit these interviews before they take place. So, what I'm waiting for them to do is to say that Prince Harry was a bully. That's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for the allegations that Prince Harry is a bully. I mean, it worked last time, didn't it? So, why not stick to the formula? Okay, so who do we have here? We have Georgia Walker was here first. Lydia Washington, Connie Barmer, Mama Jane, Mackenzie, Eugenie Miller, Carolyn Sowers, Connie Balmer, Lydia Washington, colorless. Uh, did I say Brenda Phillips? Oh, Brenda Phillips, Mary H, Kim Truman. Oh, very cool. Who else? Joan Garcia is here, and Elaine Parker, Olivia Harris. All right. And a host of others. All right, I'm gonna scroll all the way back to the start. Well, to the last comment. Hello, Anastasia Isabella, 1960. Hmm. Maureen Dayan. Um. Oh, okay. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, Daniel Medical. Thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you as always for watching Royal Sussex. Okay. All right. Just wanted to make sure I didn't miss any super chats or super stickers, and I'm good. All right, so let's get over here then, shall we? So this is from Sunday, January 12th, 2020. And this was after, of course, the announcement that the Sussexes were leaving. Tom Bradby wrote, I had some idea of what might be aired in a full, no holds barred sit down interview, and I don't think it would be pretty. I suspect the royal family would carry British public opinion still, perhaps just only. Well, be careful what you ask for. So Royal Suitor posted this today just to remind us what Tom Bradby said back in January of 2020 about the possibility of actually having a sit down, no hold barred interview with the Sussexes, in this case, with Prince Harry. The couple's desire to quit the royal family began with damaging things said and done at the time of their wedding, writes the broadcaster Tom Bradby. If the rift is not healed, worse may follow. Well, this was January of 2020. The rift was not healed. And as you know, worse has followed. I think the lowest of the low, of course, was during the Queen's funeral when the Sussexes were being harassed, I believe, by the royal family, being mistreated by the royal family and their goons at the press. And then, of course, before that, even, there was the Jubilee. And before the Jubilee, there was Prince Philip's funeral. So it has been one ongoing harassment and humiliation at the hands of the tabloid press, and very likely because of the British royal family. But whatever the level of harassment and however they have been picked upon by the tabloids, or even with the leaks from the British royal family and their courtiers, however it's done, it has led to a lot of hurt feelings when it comes to the Sussexes, and they are very justified, especially Harry, who is obviously born within that system, and that has not served him in any way whatsoever. And of course, there are things that the royal family can do, that Charles could do, that the Queen could have done. Although, I hesitate to put this on the Queen because of her advanced age, and of course, the fact that, as Harry said, this institution is William's inheritance. And of course, before William, even Charles' inheritance. And so a lot of the things that happened outside of the Queen's control, maybe even outside of her knowledge. I can't really speak to what her temperament was at the time, but for whatever reason, I think it was spelled out very clearly with the Sandringham Summit, is that William is obviously the hothead, and Charles is pretty useless. He doesn't stand up for anyone in his family. He doesn't stand up for anyone in his life. And so it should come as no surprise that he would not even defend his own son when he had an opportunity to do so. Instead, he uses that as some type of leverage with the tabloid press so that nobody actually takes notice of him. Pretty twisted, but he's supposed to be a man, a father, and now a sovereign, but I'm not sure any of those apply. Mama Jane, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex, and happy Tuesday to you. It's January 3rd, Tuesday. Thank you so much for being here. Oh, and also thank you for being a member of Royal Sussex. Very nice. I greatly appreciate that. Okay, so let's move on. All right, so this exchange took place on GB News, and let me see if I have the sound for that. I hope I do. I hope I have that for you. And there we go. Oh, no, we don't. Wait a minute.
They're known on social media, and they are very vocal indeed and quite vitriolic. Oh, well, I do think, yes, I think that is already the case, sadly. I mean, there's the Sussex squad, as they're known on social media, and they are very vocal indeed and quite vitriolic.
One more time.
Oh, well, I do think, yes, I think that is already the case, sadly. I mean, there's the Sussex squad, as they're known on social media, and they are very vocal indeed and quite vitriolic.
One more time. I love it.
I do think, yes, I think that is already the case, sadly. I mean, there's the Sussex squad, as they're known on social media, and they are very vocal indeed and quite vitriolic. Oh, well, I do think, yes, I think that is already the case, sadly. I mean, there's the Sussex squad, as they're known on social media, and they are very vocal indeed and quite vitriolic. Oh.
Okay. That's what I wanted to share with you. So long as everybody knows that we are here with our receipts and that we are going to call out. Don't you love it? Don't you just love it? Where have I heard that before? Where have I heard such vitriolic disdain for the Sussex squad? Where have I heard that before? I mean, the way they just choke on that. Oh, I know where. Maybe it was here. Yeah, I think it was here.
Thomas, I wanted to ask you about these vile individuals who refer to themselves as the Sussex squad.
So I come to my dad's house and start going through it, and I look on YouTube, and my God, I see the Sussex squad and the Royal Sussex page on YouTube and the things they post, and that's where I found that disgusting video making fun of my father just because he's going to the Jubilee. I mean, and if you look on the Royal Sussex page on YouTube, you're going to see exactly whose it is. It's definitely Meghan Markle. And if it's not her personally, she's definitely paying somebody to do it.
Who refer to themselves as the Sussex squad.
So I come to my dad's house and start going through it, and I look on YouTube.
So I go to my dad's house and I start going through it. How many people go to their dad's house after having had a stroke and then you start going through it? So I go to my dad's house and I started going through it. I mean, like, oh, shouldn't you be at the hospital making sure that he's okay? So I go to my dad's house and I'm going through it. Are you supposed to do that? I mean, is that normal? So I go to my dad's house and I go through it, and my God, I see this Royal Sussex and so every time he says Royal Sussex, I made sure I included a bell because it just seemed like the thing to do.
Themselves as the Sussex squad.
So I come to my dad's house and start going through it, and I look on YouTube, and my God, I see the Sussex squad and the Royal Sussex page on YouTube and the things they post, and that's where I found that disgusting video making fun of my father.
Okay, now notice at the bottom of the screen, remember I told you I included 30 pieces of silver? Well, there's a bag with 30 pieces of silver. Woo! I love it. So, yes, and my God. So I go to my dad's house and I'm going through it. Okay. All right, but you do know we can hear you, right? Okay, so anyway, enough of that. Let me get rid of Thomas Markle Jr. and his thing about the Royal Sussex. So I go to my dad's house and I go through it. Oh, Deidre Monkey says, Baron, have you heard that the Commonwealth countries are banding together and demanding that KP and the British press stop harassment of Meghan? Love it. Yes, actually, I spoke about that yesterday, or was it the day before? But yes, I actually did have a discussion about that. There was one journalist in particular that I think was leading the cry for the leaders in the Caribbean to start speaking out. So yes, we did discuss that. So yes, thank you very much. And oh, let's see. Here it is, right here. Nope, that's not it. Nope, that's not it. Aha, there it is. Thank you so much for the reminder. Commonwealth Caribbean urges to speak out against British press attacks on Duchess of Sussex. So yeah, if you guys didn't hear about this, they are, there you go, right there. McClement stressed that it's time for the Caribbean leaders, especially the esteemed Prime Minister of Barbados, Mia Mottley, to speak out against the blatant attacks on a woman of African descent. She pointed out, on the other hand, however, that when a crime is committed against a Jewish or Asian person, now this jumps all the way down in the conversation, but did I link that on the community tab? I don't recall. The royal family and the police are quick to denounce the perpetrators and send sincere messages of condolence and reassurance to the victims. So basically, what she's saying is, if you guys are going to go through all of that to make sure that you reach out to the Asian or the Jewish community, as an example, anytime that there has been some type of harassment or crimes committed against them, then at the very least, you could speak out for a woman of African descent that is going through this public humiliation, this electronic lynching day after day after day. And the Caribbean leaders, they don't speak out about it. So she makes a great point. It is time to speak out. Okay, so to continue here, the Duke and the Duchess have never cited privacy as the reason for stepping back. This distorted narrative was intended to trap the couple into silence. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Global Press Secretary. How many times do they have to say that was not a talking point, or not a talking point, but that was not a statement from us? We did not say that, and this is why it's so important at this time to make sure that while we have the attention of the world, as squatties, we have to make sure that we are speaking clearly, because I believe that with the docuseries, and now with these two interviews coming up, and of course the book, there has been no better time to get the message out there. It's a very difficult task because you have the full court press of the United Kingdom. In one way or the other, they all seem to give support and uplift and uphold the messages from the firm. And the Sussexes, they have the occasional person in the mainstream media that speaks out, especially the New York Times. But don't get me started about the New York Times. Nothing gives me more pleasure than to think about how they seem to grate on the nerves of especially the journalists, how they seem to grate on their nerves and how they have upset the apple cart, so to speak, when it comes to coverage of the royal family and, of course, the institution. So there are some people that tell the truth, that speak out. And, as I had a conversation with someone about the docuseries, well, this person is not really involved with any of this stuff. And they were quite critical, shall I say, of the docuseries, at the same time saying, I still support the Sussexes. But my only thing that I could add to that is there is wall-to-wall coverage that is constantly against them. And if there's anything about that docuseries that may have appeared to be somewhat biased in regards to the Sussexes, don't you think it's about time? They don't have the things, the tools that the royal family has. They only have each other. They have a few people in the press, a few people and fewer people in the mainstream press. They have their own PR people, and they got the Sussex squad. That's it. That's it. That's all they have. They have the Sussex squad. And then, of course, there are some people on social media, to be fair, that have taken up the cause, but still not enough. And so this is like a 24-hour a day operation that is at the disposal of the royal family. Harry and Meghan don't have that. So now is the time. The time is right to make sure that we speak clearly and that we state the case and that we show them as much support as we can. As always, though, making sure that we are quite aware of our own mental health because, you know, guys, you still got to live your lives too. So I'm sure the Sussexes don't want anyone to get themselves in a bad way because of the struggle, but it still is a fight for truth. It's a fight for fairness, and it's much bigger than just the two people that we focus on. So with that, let me scroll down a bit. A lot of comments. Oh, 1,200 people already. Wow. Okay. Unfortunately, I won't be able to get to most of the comments, but let me press on. I'll go to the absolute last. Lorna Williams says, what the British stole, excellent Spotify podcast on Britain stole from the former colonies, will be broadcasted on CBC at 8:30 Friday as a TV series. Really? So did I see that already? Right? Did I see that one, or is this something else? I would like to see it though. But yeah, there was a series on the YouTube where they spoke about the things that were stolen from the colonies. And I saw that some time ago, but wow, I'm going to have to check that out. Huh. Well, I tell you what, if you can inbox me on the Twitter, I'd appreciate that. Thank you so much. Well, with a link, of course. But I tell you what, I am going to take a note of this and take a look for it on my own too. So no worries if you can't. But let me try to do that. What did I just do? TT Jones, welcome to Royal Sun. Oh, you got a new membership. Thank you so much for that. Didn't mean to do that. Okay, I got too much going on here. Let me try this and this. And I will make a note. In other words, I'm doing a screenshot to make sure I remind myself. There we go. Okay, TT Jones, thank you so much for the new membership. Now, there are no prizes, but you do have an opportunity to support Royal Sussex and still a bargain at just $4.99 a month. Can you believe that? Until I finally change it to some other levels, which will probably be this time next year. But $4.99 a month. Thank you so much for your contribution. And thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Okay. And then here, happy birthday, Greta Thunberg. Now, I've been saying it wrong, like a lot of people, is Thunberg. Happy birthday, Greta Thunberg. And thank you so much for that mic dropping moment last week. That was like, I believe James O'Brien said it was the fourth most popular tweet in the history of Twitter. The fourth most popular tweet in the history of Twitter. That was the mother of all comebacks. And I think what really made it so appealing is that it was so unexpected. It's like little Greta, who just turned 20, little Greta Thunberg is capable of such an epic mic drop moment like that, an epic read A snapback? Oh, you gotta love her. Thank you so much, Greta. Thank you. You have given me my life for um, months to come. I'm still going to think about that and smile. As for the other person, I don't even want to say his name. I think he's still in the pokey for 30 days while they investigate, which means he is being held without bail, I suppose. But remember, the laws is different in other countries, so who knows what that really means. So, thank you very much. Oh man, I slept so well last night, you guys. For a baby boomer to go 7 hours without getting up to go to the Oval Office, that is a record for me. 7 straight hours without interruption, that is a record. Okay, and of course, that person who named that I choose not to say, he tried to reply with, "How dare you? How dare you?" I wonder if his pinky was up when he said that. Was he like sipping his cocktail with his pinky in the air? How dare you? Oh my goodness, another membership. Diamond Blue 24, thank you so much for the new membership. And thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. Oh, fun time. Thank you. I really appreciate that. And as for you, person I choose not to mention, how dare you? Not really an appropriate comeback. And then when they did try to have something that was more leveled, more angry, more vitriolic, what happened? They ended up in jail. I love it. Super sticker, thank you so much. M-A-J-I Jackson, is it Maji? Thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. All right, let's see here. I'm in a bail mood today. Okay, so that is that. Greta. Thank you, Greta. Thanks for the memories. Let me see if I have that one. Okay. Oh yeah, is Kwanzaa over with? Is this the last day for Kwanzaa? I think Kwanzaa has already come and gone. So yeah, Kwanzaa has passed us. And yeah, that's it. All right, moving on. There you go. That's the end of your career. Royal Guard sparks fury after filming himself taking I guess he had to make water. I don't really like to say that word. It's so, okay, he was taking a piss. So taking a piss by okay, maybe it wasn't that, but gyrating against his rifle while on post outside of Windsor Castle. It was very bizarre. This soldier who was on duty at Windsor Castle, he was kind of bored and he was recording himself. He was recording, I believe, members of the royal family. You wonder how do they pass their time at Windsor Castle. I believe he said they were looking at ducks. I believe he said they were looking at ducks. Anyway, a King's Guard filmed himself loitering at Windsor Castle, apparently aimlessly. He said, "I meant to be looking after the royal family, currently staring at ducks." The clip has earned thousands of views and comments on platform TikTok. Well, I've seen the video. It's not all that. Thank you, Elaine Parker. Thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. So here you have the Queen consort looked serene as she was driven into Windsor Castle today. wrapping up warm in a padded navy jacket. Was oh, okay, I can see the jacket now. It's kind of like one of those bubble jackets ahead of the annual Christmas lunch. So they said that she looked serene. Now, she might look like a whole lot of stuff, but serene, come on, y'all. Serene, the queen consort. The queen, the queen consort looked serene as she was driven into Windsor Castle. She looked serene. Boy, don't that make her sound so delicate? She looked serene as she was driven into Windsor Castle. I'm still trying to understand what they. Now, I could tell you what she looks like, but that wouldn't be polite. And then there's Charles looking like he just bit into a chicken drumstick. I don't know why his mouth looks like that, but maybe he uses lip gloss or something like that. Both of these pictures are rather strange. You got her looking like something out of Madame Tussauds, and then you got him looking rather ashen, if you will, and then of course, for some reason, um, I don't know what's going on here. I'm just sharing this with you. However, then I got to thinking about it. The last time I seen someone look that serene, it seemed as though somebody had, I don't know, added something to their cocoa. The last time I saw someone look that serene, for some reason, I started to believe that how do I put this? That there was more going on than meets the eye, as though somebody was on some type of medication. Yes, you know what? Perhaps it was one of those Church Nelly elixirs. Maybe they're on one of those Church Nelly elixirs. I don't know, but that's that is plastered. That is what's meant when you say plastered. That looks very serene. There's another person associated with the family that looks serene sometimes, and well, her serenity seems to come out of a plain paper bag when she's watching a football match. I've seen her serenity, but this type of serene, I don't know. It seems like it comes in a capsule, a caplet. Oh man! But then, of course, let's get back to Harry's book. Harry has had many of books written about him, and so don't you think it's time that he writes his own book and tells his own story? Isn't it time? How many times will someone else tell Harry's story, and then he takes this one opportunity in his life to write his own story, and the royal family is freaking out about it? He has a right to tell his truth. He's not out to hurt anyone. He's trying to end the generational pain that exists within that institution. Got a super chat here. Let's see. How dare you? Tate's Pizza. How dare her? How my hold my beer. Help. Oh, you know what? You know what? Okay. I get what you're saying. Some of the worst mistakes happen, and the last thing you hear somebody say is, hold my beer. Usually, before someone ends up in an emergency room, their last words were, hold my beer. It's watch this and hold my beer. So Tate decided to reply to Greta, and he must have told someone, he said, watch this, hold my beer. And then next thing you know,
Police! 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 Help! Police! Help! Police! Help! Help! Police! Help!
Yes, that's never a good thing. When somebody says, watch this and hold my beer, you never know if they're going to end up in the emergency room or if they're going to end up in jail. But anyway, thank you so much for your comment. All right, Alma Andrews has a super sticker. Thank you so much, Alma Andrews. And thank you for watching Royal Sussex. All right. And so, as I was saying, Harry has a right to tell his story, just like he has a right to look absolutely amazing in a uniform, which he does. He looks absolutely amazing in uniform. As a matter of fact, he wears that uniform like no one else in the family can. By the way, thank you so much for the PayPal I just received, and thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Okay, and also, let's share this one. I posted this image on Twitter yesterday, and I mean every word of it. Harry is the king. Harry is the true king. Prince Harry is the true king. Now, William may be the future sovereign, and that's all he's going to be, but he'll never be a king. He may be a sovereign, but he'll never be a king. Anybody who treats his family like that, that is not someone worthy of wearing a crown. That is someone who is going to spend the rest of their life suffering from imposter syndrome, wondering how he got there, knowing that he's not the best or the brightest. He was just born first. That's it. That's it. That's his qualifications. That's what makes people believe, even in the year 2023, that he deserves to be the next in line for the throne. Okay, have at it. Have at it. Keep the feudal, outdated system if you choose. As a matter of fact, the official chaplain of Royal Sussex, Jacqueline Squash, says, God Almighty can hear him too, using his holy name in vain. Amen, Jacqueline Squash. Thank you very much. Okay, and Phyllis Brooks has a super sticker. Thank you so much. And thank you for being a member of Royal Sussex. Thank you, and thank you. And you guys can thank Lydia Washington for my bell. I love this thing. Oh, man. Okay. And then there's this. Fishna Marquette. I hope I'm saying that right. On a positive note, these are books that I have ordered or pre-ordered over the last 2 years. All have featured authors from Archwell Foundation, Archetypes with Meghan, Harry and Meghan on Netflix, David Olasuka, and Sophia Noble, and Hemsley Becky. So those are some books. Now, I have one on order. I also have The Bench, and I have Together. I don't have any of those other books, but one that I am very keen on is the one that's called Algorithms of Oppression, and that is from Sophia Noble, and that is about how the algorithm is somehow stacked against people of color, and in particular, African Americans, and even particular still African American women of African descent. That is where the worst abuse in the social media, in the algorithm takes place, is Black women. So I still want to get that book, and I will at some point. But this is a few selections. So I'll leave that up there for a moment if you want to take a look at those. And I'll look at some of your comments while I leave that for the time being. Let me see here. Oh, that's not for me. Oh, is Petal here? Let me see. Church Nelly says, Lydia, hire Petal. Oh, okay, that's not for me. All right. And Bright Eyes PB&J. Haven't seen you on here for a while. He found out messing with a YT woman I'm sorry, I don't get that. That he is still black. Okay. Tate is biracial. See how fast he was taken down. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They knocked him down a peg or two. And of course, they photographed all the money. There was a firearm, a sword, all that kind of stuff. And oddly enough, the television just happened to have the image of Prince Andrew on it in reference to his problems. Isn't that weird that he would have that on his television? Not that that makes him guilty of anything, but Cookies and Cream says the Unroyals and their racist henchmen should have left Prince Harry's wife and children alone. He had asked the Unroyals more than once to call off their dogs. They ignored him. Now the gloves are off. Yes, Cookies and Cream, you have summed it up very well. Absolutely. He asked you the nice way and you didn't listen. Now there is going to, be some repercussions. As they say, now he's going to have to regulate. So now Prince Harry is in a position where he has to regulate. Hello, Marie Johnson. Happy New Year to you too. Oh, yes, you're on the live today. Very cool. Glad you're here. Princess Diana knew what she was talking about when she said that Harry would make a better king than William. A mother knows best. Amen. Amen. Yes. Yes, Keita. Amen. Let me see. Do you want to be arrested for stalking church? Oh, man. Okay, I'm going to go on then. So I'm writing this not as the prince I was born, but as the man I have become. Now, this is what a statement he made when the book was first announced last year sometimes, is not as a prince, but as the man I have become. That is why he wrote the book. So I kept this ever since then, just as a reminder, occasionally when it would come up here and there when they spoke about his book, and just to remind you what his thoughts were at the time when the book was still being developed. So, okay. The royal family had a chance to defend Prince Harry and Princess Meghan. They failed. Now, no more talking. No more taking the high road by Prince Harry. The gloves are well and truly off, and I'm here for it. Go, Prince Harry, go. Thank you so much. Beautiful day. All right. And there you go. There is the spare. Actually, this is a little something I put together. I don't know if the actual book will look like that beneath the cover jacket, but I took a little license with it. It looks very real, though, doesn't it? Even the letters, the way they look like they're raised and everything, but it's not actually a real thing. But this is how I picture it beneath the cover jacket. There would be this leather-bound book. But yeah, so I just took a little license with it. Oh, thank you very much. I don't want to say let me see here. Oh, okay. Thank you very much. I didn't want to say the name, but thank you again for the super chat and the super chat. Thank you. I mean, not super chat, but the PayPal. I see I just received another one, but thank you again. Greatly appreciate it. Right. And Shelly L says William is like Joffrey on GOT, and Harry is Jon Snow. Oh yeah, YT is a derivative of white. Oh really? I didn't know that. Okay. Now, what is GOT? I'm so sorry. Sometimes it takes me a while before got a movie? Okay, God, that's the movie, right? I'm so sorry, Shelly. I'm not hip and with it like that. Um, yeah, it takes me a minute sometimes. But thank you, and thanks for the super chat. All right, and there. So the Duke and his publishers, Penguin Random House, are going to great lengths to ensure Spare is published simultaneously around the world next Tuesday. Not since the last Harry book has they're speaking of Harry Potter. Not since the last Harry book has security been so tight as publications loom for the Duke of Sussex memoir. The ultra secure arrangement echoes those of the final installment of the Harry Potter series 16 years ago, insiders said yesterday. So I suppose there are no books that are in print and in shops, because I did see that photo of someone holding a book, but maybe that photo was, kind of like my thing, just taking a bit of license with it. So maybe that's what I was looking at. But yeah, I did share that photo with you guys, but maybe it wasn't real. All right, so let's go here. Now, just to remind you guys, there are other people in the royal family. Oh, Game of Thrones. I wouldn't have figured that out in a bazillion years. I wouldn't have figured that out. Game of Thrones? I actually have never watched it, but thank you for that. I feel that much hipper right now. So, Kate Middleton, if you guys remember, she had a book called Keen, where she was always keen to do things, and she finally wrote a book about all the stuff that she was keen to do. According to Celibacy, they have something every year which is called the Keening season. And that is at a certain time of year, like, starting really soon, actually, there is a list of things that Kate is keen to do, things that she's keen to get involved with, like, well, let's see. She's been beating that drum about child development for a long time. It took her 10 years to come up with 5 questions about how a child could develop better, or if a child, well, anyway. So she's keen to do stuff. And then there's Waiting, the Kate Middleton story by Angela Levin, a top 80,000 best-selling author, which means she doesn't sell a lot of books. But so don't forget to pick up your copy of Waiting, the Kate Middleton story. And then, of course, there is um, Waiting and Keen in the hardcover. So if you don't want to, buy the soft cover book or the pocket book, you can still find those in the hardcovers. So, um, just check your favorite book distributor or bookstore, and please record yourself when you go in there asking for Waiting, the Kate Middleton story or Kate Middleton Keen. Please record yourself. I just want to see it, just to say I did. And of course, there is Jazz Hands, and that's about Kate Middleton's career when she was out on the road with the traveling dance troupe doing all of those Fosse moves, And it tells you how a young girl who grew up in a family that sold party favors, they would kit up all of the party stuff. But anyway, she was not satisfied in Buckleberry or Mayberry or whatever town she comes from. So eventually, her family realized that her dreams were just too big for the Middleton household, and they allowed her to go out on the road with a dance troupe so that she can do all of her best Fosse moves. And so she wrote a book about those times, and it's called Kate Middleton is Jazz Hands. Yeah. all that jazz, right? And of course, there's a book called Highbrow, Lowbrow by Kate Middleton, where she explains to you all of the risk that she has taken for the sake of beauty with her eyebrows. And, she hasn't really been made to, conform to anything that is normal. Otherwise, she decides to go with kind of an offset look, and she calls it highbrow, lowbrow. It's amazing that you can get a whole book out of something like that, but obviously she has. But yeah, it's called Highbrow, Lowbrow. And that is Kate Middleton's you know, book of how to pluck your eyebrows. Stephen Black says, don't forget the book Royal Cosplay. Okay, and then of course, A Mess, the Middleton approach to fashion. I know. If anybody with that 176,000 pound wardrobe from last year, if anybody is capable of making an impression in the fashion industry, it's Kate Middleton. It's called A Mess. And as you can see, they chose one of her best outfits for the cover. If you remember back in the winter of, or was it the spring of 2020, just as the world was stricken by the global pandemic, Kate managed to brighten up things with that Jolly Green Giant inspired dress that she has on there. As a matter of fact, one of the squatties has referred to it as a self-contained ecosystem. It's like a rainforest unto itself. So that is one. And then, of course, you can't leave those brows alone, can you? So she wrote a second book called Plucked, Kate's Guide to the Perfect Eyebrow. And it's called Plucked. Yes, Kate's Guide to the Perfect Eyebrows. So that's another book that you may want to try out. So if you can't get your hands on a copy of Spare, it's not as though there aren't other options out there in your local bookstores. You got A Mess, you got Plucked, Highbrow, Lowbrow, and Jazz Hands. And don't forget, Waiting, the Kate Middleton story, and Kate Middleton's Keen, for people who mean to do stuff and never get around to it. Of course, south of the Mason-Dixon line, the book is not called Keen, it's called Fixin' To, right? Or Finna. So the book is translated into Southern dialects. They got one called Fixin' To and Finna. Kate Middleton's Finna, or Kate Middleton's Fixin' To. So if you are from the South, or if you have someone from the Southern United States in your household and you want to give them a very cool gift, say for Valentine's Day, you can get Keen, Finna, or if they're from the Deep South, Fixin' To. So and if they're from Texas, you can get one called I'm a Gonna. So, oh no, I'm sorry, that's from the Appalachia. I'm a Gonna. Not to be confused with Pert Near. Shelly L says, I'm definitely getting Jazz Hands and Royal Cosplay. Yeah, I mean, these books literally fly off the shelves. As a matter of fact, that's the only way to get them into the customer's hands. They got little springs in the back of the bookcase that are, driven by sensors, And once you break that light beam, the books literally fly off the shelves. You got to get them into the customer's hands somehow. Thank you, Shelley. By any means necessary. Oh, man. Yeah. So, plucked. Oh, and let us not forget, there are some women in the aristocracy who don't get enough attention. Like, for instance, just just as a chance to, I guess, preview an alternative universe, another dimension. What if someone else was Her Royal Highness Princess of Wales? I mean, if you just wait enough time, and of course, given the I suppose the example of Charles, anybody could be Princess of Wales and eventually become the Queen Consort. And I do mean anybody, a friend of the family, um, some old girlfriend from back in the day. Anybody is capable of becoming the Queen Consort or Princess of Wales. And so, even at the National Gallery, there was an alternative portrait painted of William, just in case things changed, or if case things change, they can just go over to the portrait gallery, open up that storage cupboard, and pull out the alternative painting, for the National Portrait Gallery. Diamond Blue 24 has a super sticker. Thank you so much. And thank you for being a member and watching Royal Sussex. Okay, and we found one. That was my reaction when I saw this. If you guys haven't seen it, I have to tell you, trigger warning. They finally found one. They found someone that they could, throw out there to try and draw. I guess this is supposed to give consent to dislike or hate or have hostile feelings against the Sussexes. After all, if we can find someone of African descent to dissent against them, then I suppose that makes it okay. So Prince Harry's, I don't like that word. I think it's so tasteless. Interviews are like a long drawn out episode of Jerry Springer. Broadcaster claims during heated Good Morning Britain debate. So I actually didn't see the entire thing, but I saw bits and pieces of it on the social media. And this person, I don't even know what her name is, but she was so agitated. I mean, just so emotional. And finally, I think her name is Nina Miskow. She asked her, she said, and I'm, paraphrasing, why are you so upset? Why are you so angry? What's in it for you? Well, I got a family. I got it was no real logical answer to why she was so upset, but she was so agitated at the idea that the Sussexes are telling their truth. Now, bear in mind, you guys, this helps her out significantly to have a place on Good Morning Britain where she can flip her lid over stuff that doesn't even concern her. This is not directly affecting her. The truth is, there are unknown amounts of people dying because of the NHS. But this is what really gets her upset. Because of whatever shortages at the NHS, because of the labor shortage, or the strikes or whatever you call it that's going on with the NHS. There's other things to concern yourself with. Feeding people, that's something to concern yourself with. But she is so agitated and upset with Meghan and Harry because of this book. And she's so tired of seeing them, which she has the option to tune it out. As a matter of fact, she doesn't have to be there today. And anybody who didn't know what was going on, you would think that the person on the left was the one upset. The person on the left was the one agitated, frothing at the mouth, incandescent with rage. But no, it's the one on the right. Why is she so upset? Why are any of them so upset? I don't get that, especially a person of color. Why are you so upset? What is it about Meghan and Harry's story that triggers you? I don't understand that. I wish Tabitha Brown could be the one, and I shouldn't put this on her, but I would love Tabitha Brown to lean in and say, what is it about my happiness that triggers you? I'm going to pray for you. God bless. Now, when she said that about that talk show host that no longer has a show, you see what happened to her situation. It's a lot of people I need for Tabitha Brown to speak to, but I'm not going to put that responsibility on her. But she is upset. She's agitated. She's emotional because Harry is telling his truth. Exactly. Esther K, is that her? Yes, it is Esther. Yeah. It's just incredible how emotional she was. It's so many other things that she could be upset about. But she's worried about a book. She's worried about the royal family. As a matter of fact, one of the things she cited is she called them brats, which Nina told her was absolutely childish to refer to Harry and Meghan as brats. The thing that they constantly conveniently ignore, should I say, is that Harry is from within that system. There's nobody coercing him into telling his truth. The only encouragement he needed is that they keep targeting his wife and his children, and of course, even his mother-in-law. Leave his family alone. Otherwise, he has no choice but to continue to tell his truth and let the chips fall where they may. But you don't get to say when a person has the right to tell their truth, especially if they have been affected by the misdeeds of some oppressive institution like the royal family, like the British tabloid press. Revealed how Prince Harry interviewer Anderson Cooper's great aunt had an affair with the Duke's great uncle Edward VIII when he was Prince of Wales. Prince Harry was interviewed by Anderson Cooper ahead of his book release. The 60-minute host and the Duke share an unusual link dating back to the 1920s. As I bang my fist on the table, do you seriously have to go back to the 1920s to find a link? These people that went back to the 1920s. You done went back to the 1920s to find a link? Really? You done went back to the flipping 1920s? Cooper's maternal great aunt, Thelma, with a name like that, you know you're going back in time. Thelma had an affair with the future King Edward VIII. He also introduced the then Prince of Wales to his future wife, Wallis Simpson. Oh my God, seriously? And when did that happen? 1920. What? 1900. I can't hear you. Speak up. 1920. then why in the are you telling me about this today? This is 2023. How in the name of God is this relevant? You got to go back to the 1920s to build a case? Yeah, I mean, an old war correspondent like Anderson Cooper, someone who's been shot at, and if I recall, didn't Anderson Cooper get kidnapped one time? Was he kidnapped before? I can't recall. It may have been someone else. But are you really going after Anderson Cooper? And to do it, you're going to go back to 1920? Seriously? I mean, that's really making a case. If you got to go back to the 1920s to build a case against Anderson Cooper, maybe you shouldn't bother. Shelley L says she's defending she's defending the very people who would step over her if she collapsed in the street. Meanwhile, Harry is one who would rush to her side. Someone needs to sit her down. Like a month ago or 2 years ago, somebody needed to sit her down and have a conversation with her, because I think she has forgotten where she comes from. But like I say, this is a feather in her cap. The Esther, whatever her name is, Esther K. This is a feather in her cap. This builds credibility with the firm, with the tabloid press, and they're going to throw her, a little gift or something at some point. They're going to give her something in return for this. They always do. She'll probably go to the Queen Consort's next party. At least that would bring the medium age down from 70 at the next party that they have. Because I tell you, that party that they had in Mayfair that day, the Queen Consort is capable of drawing stars out more than, what did they say? Meghan's not the only one who can draw the stars or celebrities. Like I said, that band of nearly extinct people that she had at that party, I mean, okay, yes, distinguished some of them, like Dame Judi Dench and Maggie Smith. But again, if you have to go that far back, like the 1920s, in order to if you have to go that far back to show that you can pull out people, to come to your party, oh my God, they just don't get how ancient and irrelevant this institution is. Thank you so much, Shelley L. It defies logic. It really does. It defies logic. Is that I don't think so. I don't think that's her daughter. But whatever. Hey, you know what? And I'm surprised they didn't have Nana, but Nana's on another network. So maybe that's why. Let's see here. Oh, I'm sorry. Was there another one? At least her hair and makeup are on point. Yes, it is. I'm glad she's not wearing a thrift store hair hat and Dollar Tree eyeshadow. Yeah, she's not wearing that Dollar Tree eyeshadow. Oh my goodness. You guys are wild today. Okay. So let's talk about having an affair. You got the two most notorious adulterers in all of Britain ready to take the throne next spring? And then let us not forget that Charles and Afro Annie, let us not forget the two of them. Charles was seeing Camilla Parker Bowles, and Anne was seeing what was her husband's name? The Camilla's husband. So the two of them were cross dating, husband and wife. You got brother and sister dating husband and wife. Now take a look on the left side there. There is Charles's great grandfather, is it? And there's what is it, Edith Keppel, Alice Keppel? That is the one that happens to be Camilla's great grandmother. So her great grandmother was, okay, I can't use that language, but she was mistress to the king. So Charles and Camilla feel as though it was destiny for them to get together. And it's even reported, thank you, Andrew Parker Bowles. So yes, so God, you need a scorecard. Oh God. Princess Anne was dating Andrew Parker Bowles. Charles began to date Camilla Parker Bowles, right? And then, of course, the king, what was it, Henry was it Henry VII? No, Edward VII. Edward VII. God, I'm getting bad at this. But anyway, or was it Edward V? Edward V, or seven, whatever. Anyway, he was dating, his mistress was Camilla's great grandmother. And anyway, the picture at the bottom in the middle is the Aunt Thelma with the Prince of Wales, David, who became Edward VIII. Oh, God. Anyway, all I can say is those that live in glass castles shouldn't throw stones. So if you ask me, everybody in the family has some pretty loose morals, and it's hard to keep up with, as what was that song by Aretha Franklin, Who's Zooming Who? It's hard to keep up with who's zooming who. But all I know is Andrew Parker Bowles and Camilla Parker Bowles were dating brother and sister. Now that's just nasty. It is. It's absolutely disgusting. As the young man said in Scotland to Andrew, disgusting. It was disgusting. It was disgusting. I mean, how loose morals could you possibly have in one family? How much? There's no limit to it. And to think that these are the people that seem to call Harry what, a traitor, that he's angry, or that his wife is that he's being bullied by his wife. I mean, it's all kind of things that they have claimed that is Harry's problem. They're the ones with the problem. They're the ones that have the loose morals. They have the morals of a guinea pig. I mean, it's sick.
Time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that. I don't have time for it. I don't have time for it.
I got time for that.
I don't. I ain't got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that. I ain't got time for that. Oh, Lord. Oh, man. Hi, Verta Sanchez. Hi, Sussex Squad family. I'm sorry I missed the chat today. I had 3 big houses to clean. I am just getting off work, waiting on my grandbaby to get off the bus. I am listening. Love you all. Thank you so much, Verta Sanchez, and thank you so much for being here. Okay. Oh, Lauren. There's Lauren. Official Lauren Brown is here in the house, you guys. Hello, Lauren Brown. Let me see. Who else here? Yes, I'm just sick of it. Do you hear me? Sack! I'm sick of it. Oh, man. And not only am I sick of it,
Got time for that.
ain't nobody got time for that. Okay, so there you have the adulterer king and the adulterer queen consort. What I love about it is I don't even have to say allegedly because it's official. And there they are, the very monument of solitude. I mean, they are just so at ease, which is disturbing, how at ease they are with their sordid behavior. Okay, so here's another one that I want to share with you guys. Now, we spoke about this a little while ago, right? Give me a second. So that's the end of your career. Royal Guardsman sparks fury after filming himself taking a whatever by gyrating against his rifle while on post outside Windsor Castle. Um, you know what? Give the kid a break. It's a boring job, and you're supposed to stand around like some ornament. Yes, he was the Queen's Guard, and yes, that's what he was paid to do. But I mean, he got a little bored and just started, wiggling his hips and stuff like that. Well, given the rest of the family with their very loose morals, I mean, if he is supposed to be some example to us all, don't you think it just makes sense that the family should be more of an example to the rest of society? But the truth is, the whole place is like Sodom and Gomorrah, and they're picking on this kid to distract from how dreadful their behavior has been. Right here, he's brought the military into disrepute. Ex-defense chief Admiral Lord West slams stupid idiot King's Guardman who filmed himself gyrating against his rifle while on post at Windsor Castle and says he deserves whatever punishment is thrown at him. Well, if you're going to punish him, who's going to punish the rest of them? Who punishes these people with their less than suitable morals? Who's punishing them? I don't see anybody punishing them. And they're supposed to be an example to us all. Nobody's punishing them, but you want to punish this kid for just, trying to pass the time, standing out there watching the grass grow. Leave that kid alone. And then what's curious to me is, you see this, these are three different photos on the right. Now, remember, there's Camilla looking serene, right? So you got this column, right, where this kid there's talking about him, right? And then the story goes on and on, blah, 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 blah. He disrespectful, blah, blah, blah. And then down there at the bottom, you can see a picture of him again. But why do you have Charles and Camilla in here? If you want to really send home or make a point about how disrespectful this is, at least use the Queen as an example. Don't use Charles and Camilla. I don't see how that is supposed to bring any irate feelings or any type of disappointment to the story. Like, oh my goodness, he did this while protecting the Windsor Castle. I mean, this happened while the Queen was still alive, not Charles and Camilla. So if you want to make something seem like it's immoral, don't use them as an example. Now, I wonder, because I mean, you take a look at that. There's Camilla looking serene. Maybe that's why she had that look on her face. Maybe she's happened to drive past while he was over there shaking his moneymaker. I don't know, but maybe that maybe that would explain that quite serene look she has. Maybe she caught something out the corner of her eye. Maybe. I don't know. I'm just saying, maybe that's why she looks so serene. Maybe she's looking that way because she's looking for him. Well, he's not there anymore, but you know, maybe she having flashbacks or something. I wonder where the cute one is, the one that was you know what I'm saying? So maybe that's why. But it's just interesting that they would use Serene Camilla's photo in this story about this young military person. But again, as I said, there's nothing serene about Camilla. That is a poor choice of words. If you want to find some way to describe the queen consort, please don't use serene. That's too confusing. And I don't even think it applies. And of course, after she's finished being serene, Camilla goes and relaxes the only way she knows how. Put on the crown jewels, have some whiskey, smoke a cigarette. What a lady. Okay, and then Prince Andrew braces as accuser Virginia Giuffre to be freed from gagging clause. So effective, I think now she is free to talk about everything that she's experienced. They only had like a 1 year. That's weird too. Was it more money involved if they went over a year for the gag order? Like, I thought those were like a lifetime thing where you couldn't talk about it for the rest of your life. You know, you have this permanent NDA or whatever. But apparently, she only had 1 year to keep her mouth shut. Now, they said that that's because they didn't want the Jubilee to be disrupted by, you know, talks of Andrew and his thing. So, well, anyway, that's over with now. Now she's free to talk about it as whenever and wherever she likes. Let me see here. Irma Adams, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you for watching Royal Sussex. And happy Tuesday to you. Happy New Year. All right. And there she is, Virginia herself, unshackled and ready to talk. So there may be a book in the works. So there may be. The thing is, they're so worried about Harry, but there's so many other books out there that they can. Hi, BJ. There's so many other books out there that they need to concern themselves with. That's right. Bombshell bestseller is going to be sick, as the young people say. It is going to be sick. We got 7 days to the countdown. So, yeah, I can't wait. There's going to be more coming out. The Queen is gone, you guys, and it's been less than a year. And there's a lot of people who have been holding back a lot of things because they didn't want to hurt the Queen. But the gloves are off, and that includes Harry. The gloves are off. And even if the Queen was still alive, Harry intended to press on with his truth. So I admire him for that because, you know, they try to use the Queen's age as a weapon against Harry again and again. Oh, they blindsided the Queen. No, they didn't. They didn't blindside the Queen. The Queen knew about it. That was a lie. Thank you, Colorless. Thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you for being a member of Royal Sussex. And of course, silver hair, yellow teeth. What does that mean? An old Windsor. The old Windsors. That's the curse of the old Windsors. Silver hair and yellow teeth. And in his case, no neck. Silver hair, yellow teeth, no neck. Wild day today in Congress. Jeffries received more votes than McCarthy. Today is the day McCarthy truly became Trump. And there's a congresswoman from Chicago, I think she's from Chicago. I've got my popcorn ready. And the reason why I think she's from Chicago is because if you notice, she's holding a bag of Garrett's popcorn. Now, if you guys don't know, Garrett's popcorn is like a Chicago institution. They may actually have it in other places around the country, but it is a mixture of buttered popcorn, caramel corn, and cheese popcorn. And it sounds kind of weird until you actually try it the first time. And it is amazing. So, yes, she's got her Garrett's and she's ready to go. Garrett's popcorn. I think they actually have one at O'Hare Airport. So that is her way of preparing for the massacre that is taking place in Congress. And if you guys want to know how Kevin McCarthy, the supposed to be Speaker of the House, is holding up at this time when they're taking their votes for the future Speaker of the House, well, under the pressure, he seems to be nearly collapsing. But it's not a good thing when you have already moved your stuff into Nancy Pelosi's office and you don't know whether or not you have enough votes. So the first round of votes, as you can see, McCarthy 202, Jeffries 211, and let me see, Biggs has 10, others 9. So it's not going well. So I don't know exactly when they'll complete this vote, but right now it is not going well. Oh, you've had the Garrett's before? Wow, a lot of people know Garrett's popcorn. Very cool. I think they've been around for like, oh my God, the 1920s, but they've been a while for. But anyway, you guys, Nancy Pelosi says it was my privilege today to gavel out the end of the 117th Congress, an extraordinary productive session for the people. I look forward to continuing to serve the people of San Francisco in the 118th Congress, and we'll share more on this account. So yes, that's the end of an era, not likely to ever return to Congress again, I don't suppose. But I think that Nancy Pelosi said this is her last round as the Speaker of the House. And for you non-Americans, according to the line of succession, it is, of course, the president, then the vice president, Speaker of the House. I think it's Vice President pro tem, and then the Secretary of State, or I think Secretary of State, then the Vice President pro tem, and anyway, all the way down to the Water Commissioner is the line of succession. So there are all these constitutional positions, but all the cabinet members, including the Transportation Secretary, the Secretary of the Interior, all of those people are in the line of succession. So Nancy Pelosi would be like the equivalent of, not the Home Secretary, because, she's, in Congress, but her position was probably the highest in government before Vice President Kamala Harris. Nancy Pelosi had reached the highest point that you possibly could. And of course, the few women that have served, I think only 3 women that served as Secretary of State, they also were in a very high position within the Constitution. So end of an era. Thank you so much for your service, Nancy Pelosi. And this came in just before I went on. Scott's guardsman, 23, who filmed himself taking whatever at the Windsor Castle while protecting the Queen, wants to abolish the monarchy and says regiment was treated like crap by royal family, who complained that soldiers' arms were out of line. So there was a lot of bad blood, and I'm sure that we have all heard of how some of the people that were guarding Windsor Castle and the royal households and stuff, it is like a frat house party atmosphere. And then quite a few of them have led these dual lives, but basically they're just kids. They're young people that have a lot of responsibility, and they, in spite of everything that they have said about these young people, any of them would have given their lives to protect the members of the royal family. So I think they're just picking on these people. They're using them as scapegoats, but then again, they're so good at that, aren't they? And you know what? That is it for today. That is it for Royal Sussex. I am done. So I'll take a look at some of your last comments, and then after that, oh wait, little civics lesson right here. Official Lauren, Kevin lost all 3 voting sessions. They have Jim Jordan splitting the vote for the Repugs, the Republicans. Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't been keeping up with it at all. So does that mean we don't know who the Speaker of the House is? Is that what that means? Okay. All right, you guys. I think I'll be looking for a last comment. Kevin McCarthy is full of himself, glad he's rejected. Jordan is a favorite amongst the Republicans. So does this mean that Kevin McCarthy will not become Speaker of the House? Really? I thought the calls were coming from inside the House. Wow, that's a real change of events, because I thought for sure that that he would be Speaker of the House by now. Thank you for that. So is President, Vice President, and then of course, and then is Speaker, and then Secretary of State, right? I think that's how that goes. What I think is really cool is that they always have a designated survivor. When they have those big sessions of Congress, they always make sure that they have at least one person who is not at Congress, just in case the whole thing is blown up. God forbid. They have one person who's not at Congress. It could be whoever they choose. I think the president decides who shall sit out the joint session of Congress. So just in case, the government is lost, they will have whoever it is that would serve as the as president. They would be in line for president. So it goes all the way down. Okay. Who told me to just do that? This is going kind of fast. So please check what? Okay, I'm looking. I don't see it. Okay. Someone just, there it is. Oh, okay, I shall. Thank you so much. Let me see here. All right. Let me see. Yes, I did get it. Thank you so much. And what is the message? It says, "Hi, Baron. My name is Kim. I am so sick of you. Do you hear me? Sick!" I'm just kidding. It says, "I am so uplifted and love your channel." Oh, thank you so much, Kim Truman. Yeah, I don't usually like to say the names because, some people prefer to remain. It's a much longer thing here. Oh, man. Okay, so I won't read all of it. I'll keep that part of it private. But yes, thank you so much. I really, really do appreciate that. I'm so sorry I didn't actually read it yet, but I did see that it was there. But thank you. And I'm so glad you are enjoying Royal Sussex. And thank you for trusting me to do this work. That means so much to me. All right, you guys, thank you. And I am going to find the last word of the day. Thank you, Colorless. You can close us out with "Have a good evening, everyone. Be safe." Great podcast, Baron. Thank you, Colorless. I appreciate that. I know, Creative Life. He moved his stuff into Nancy Pelosi's office. Maybe he should have waited. How embarrassing. How embarrassing. Was that supposed to send a message to people? Hey, I'm already in here? No, you're not. Oh, silly Wabbit. Twix are for kids. Hasn't he ever seen that cereal commercial? Silly Wabbit. Twix are for kids. Frosty Lucky Charms. They're magically delicious. They're magically delicious. Maybe he should switch to Captain Crunch because he looks a little crunchy. Maybe he should switch to Captain Crunch. Yes, no bad energy. Absolutely. As our Duchess says, no bad energy. Okay. And as per usual, it is a new year. So happy New Year's to you all. Until I feel like it's time to stop saying that, I have to turn out my Christmas lights. But I'm afraid to do it because it's wet and foggy outside. And I don't want to mess with the outlet until, I don't want to unplug them while it's so damp outside. So I'm just going to leave them on until things dry out. You know what I mean? I'm not going out there messing with that extension cord. I'm going to wait until things dry out. And then I will turn out the Christmas lights. Otherwise, it's supposed to be rainy the next few days, and they may be on for, this time next week until I'm sure that things have dried out. What's that? Kevin McCarthy is going to be crying like a rat eating onions. Yes, just like Will and Kate, they have a lot to cry about. Oh, man. Sounds like Mumble's doing a cereal commercial. Yeah, I could just see Kate doing a cereal commercial, and maybe you like to try it. Oh man. Okay. All right, you guys, thank you so much. And we are good. And thank you to our queens, our queen of hearts and our queen of everything for those great kids that they have given the world. All right. Speaking of let me see. Let me see if I can find that.
People who aren't necessarily reaching out, who are struggling, who perhaps don't feel they can reach out, or the fact that maybe they haven't realized that addictive behaviors has sort of established.
Have you ever had a dreams that you want him to do you so much you could do anything? Have you ever had a dreams that you want him to do you so much you could do anything?
Ladies and gentlemen, your next queen consort. God save the king. Long live the queen. Your next queen consort. Oh, you know what? God save the people. It's the people that need the help. The royal family, they got plenty of stuff to take care of themselves, plenty of the taxpayers' money. It's the working people that need the help, not that family. They got plenty, and I do mean plenty. So God save the people, right? Right. Yeah, adorable, right? Well, this this was that whatever charity that was that Kate was supposed to I think she called them on Zoom during the pandemic, and she said, "It's been a while since I've been there." And the guy reminded her, not only has it been a while, but you haven't been here in 8 years. It had been 8 years, 8 years since she had been to that charity. So she just kind of lost track of time. When you're sitting around doing nothing, you lose track of time. Well, she kind of lost track of time. So, oh man. All right. Let me see here. Okay, I think we're good. So with that, let us do where is she at there? Okay. Okay, hit it, Madam Duchess. Okay, love you guys. That's it. I will see y'all tomorrow. Until then, I'm going to keep pouring the tea.